welcome. Just to start off, this is the Legacy Business Program webinar information session. We'll be going over some things today. Again, thank you for joining us. We are recording this, so if you do not feel comfortable having your face recorded, you can always come off camera. And we can go to the next slide. Thank you. So if you'd like to have some captions, you can turn on the captions in the select show captions in the bottom toolbar. Then you just select English. Today's session is in English only. And then we're asking to help reduce background noise. As we discussed earlier, please mute your line. All right, so here's a brief overview of the agenda and how we will spend our time together today. We're going to discuss the legacy program, eligibility, the benefits, how to apply, and then we have heard a few frequently asked questions, so we'll go over that. And then at the end, we get to have some open Q&A time for your particular questions. So if you want to, we will try to monitor the chat as we go along, but you can also hold your questions to the end so that everyone can benefit from listening to them. And if you didn't already, please jump in the chat and say hello with your name, and you can put your business and where you are calling in from, where your business is located and what community. And so we'll begin with some introductions. My name is Ashley Gibbons. I'm with Team Friday. Team Friday is a marketing agency, and we get to work with the City of LA on the launch of the Legacy Business Program with the Economic and Workforce Development Department. I would like to introduce Sonia, my colleague. I'll pass it to you.
Hi, everyone. Such a pleasure to be here with you today. Thank you for taking the time. My name's Sonia, and I'm also with Team Friday, Marketing Director. With us today, we also have Nessa Buck from the Economic and Workforce Development Department. She's joining us to be able to pop in and answer, any questions that may arise later. Alana on the screen is unfortunately not able to make it with us today, but she is also with EWDD. And we are honored to have Layla Lee with us from the LA Mayor's Office, the Small Business Policy Manager, who will provide us with some opening remarks. Layla, not to put you on the spot, but if you're available.
No, of course. Hi, sorry, I have the wrong, I took Nissa's name for today. But hi, everyone. My name is Layla Lee. I'm the Director of Small Business and Policy here at the Mayor's Office of Business and Economic Development. And, I'm just so thrilled to be here with all of you, especially legacy businesses. This is such an important topic for the mayor, and we feel that maybe this is just the one of many steps that we hope to take with you all. So the first step was, let's create this list of all the legacy businesses and how can we support them. We're looking for, every tool available and resources available that we can provide you throughout this program to ensure that your business stays strong and for a much longer time than you already been. So I just want to congratulate all of you for having the tenacity to keep on going and really doing such an amazing job. You're really big mentors to everybody else in the city, and we hope to be a partner with you going forward. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Could not have said that any better. Back to Ashley.
Great. Thank you, Layla. All right. So about the City of LA Legacy Business Program, it's brought to you, as mentioned, by the Los Angeles City Council, the Mayor's Office, and the Economic Workforce Development Department. As we look to the future of LA, we recognize the importance of our legacy businesses that have contributed to the culture and success of our neighborhoods and communities. The Legacy Business Program aims to foster economic empowerment by encouraging patronage of participating legacy businesses throughout Los Angeles. And more than 50,000 businesses across the city of LA have operated for more than 20 years or more. So we're very excited about this enormous legacy that we get to participate and support. Program eligibility. So a legacy business will be defined as a business open to the public that has been in operation for 20 years or more within the same community and which meets 3 of these following 4 criteria. And we explain these criteria later on in our FAQ. So if there's questions about the specific eligibility, we'll get into that during our frequently asked questions. So the first one of the 4, it contributes significantly to its community's history or identity. The second criteria, it sustains and cultivates distinctive cultural traditions and practices. Number 3, the business is not franchised or affiliated with a national corporate chain. And the fourth criteria, it provides vital goods and services in a language and manner that is culturally accessible to the community. Wonderful. And I'll pass to you, Sonia.
Wonderful, thank you. So again, we are so excited to really encourage longstanding businesses like yourself to apply for the program, right? To receive the well-deserved recognition for all that you've achieved, and also to take advantage of some of these amazing benefits that will continue to be built out throughout the program. So there are 4 main buckets of benefits, and we'll talk a little bit more about each of these. So there's promotional activities, right? And this is just the recognition and promotion to support your business. Access to capital. This is going to include access to grants and loans, as well as connection to additional resources. When we talk about technical assistance, here this is going to be operational guidance for things like marketing, retirement and succession planning, and more. And government connections is going to be more information on how to do business with the city of LA and other government entities. So we'll just talk briefly about each of these on the next slide. So for promotional activities, right, these are designed to really support the visibility and growth of your business. This includes being featured on the City of LA website, access to a promotional toolkit that's being built out to highlight your designation as a legacy business, and opportunities for increased visibility and exposure to potential customers. You're already such fixtures in your community and such a benefit to the community that we want to continue to spread the word. On the next slide, when we look at access to grants and loans, this is access to capital, right? Includes grants and loans. Grant applications are going to be opening. It's going to be an online portal that opens in the fall with grant amounts of $10,000 for businesses with 1 to 5 employees, and $20,000 grants available for companies with 6 or more employees, right? And priority will be given to those facing imminent threat of displacement or other issues impacting the security of your business. But you have to be enrolled again to apply for these. So I just want to reiterate that. The Legacy Business Program can also connect you with your local community development financial institutions, the CDFIs, who can help with loans at affordable interest rates and a higher likelihood of approval as well. Most of the CDFIs also offer technical assistance and advisory services as well. And the program can also connect you with other financial opportunities, such as free credit counseling, debt counseling, nationwide grant opportunities, pitch competitions, and commercial facade programs. So really, really robust there. For technical assistance, as I mentioned, so this provides resources and support for operational and technical issues, which could include social media marketing, retirement and succession planning, access to legal consultation, lease negotiation guidance, as well as financial counseling. And these are all, you're able to sign up for the services that benefit you most, and really just take what you need from the program that will benefit you. For government connections, again, this is going to provide insight and support on how to do business with the city of LA, help navigating the procurement process, learning about some of the great existing programs that are so robust within the city already, and being in the know with when new programs launch, right? So you'll be connected to receive that firsthand information, which is great. Next up, we're just going to dive into how to apply. One of the most important things. Perhaps some of you have already applied, but want to make sure this is on your radar. So we really hope that you are as enthusiastic as we are about the program, and really want to encourage you to apply. And please tell your fellow longstanding business owners about the program, and encourage them to apply as well. So here, for the overview. So really there's 3 steps, but several important details that we'll talk about. It's an online application process. So I'd really recommend setting a little bit of time aside to do it in front of a computer. It's probably a little easier to navigate on computer, although it is available, just on any mobile device as well. You'll visit the website, the bit.ly noted there. Please note that the bit.ly is case sensitive. You all made it here, so I'm assuming you've already been to this website, so that should make it easier to navigate. You'll then select Apply Now, and you're going to walk through the application. So we'll talk a little bit more about what's required on the next slide for the application. So the application is it's an online form. It's 6 pages long, right? So you're going to be asked for things like your contact information, and your business information, such as legal structure, whether it's an LLC, corporation, et cetera, and some additional details. You're going to need to have your business tax registration number handy, just to be able to plug in there. So just a heads up on that. You'll be asked, this is very important, and because we want to make sure that you shine and you're really telling your story. You'll be asked to write a description of your business and tell a little bit more about your history, right? And then you'll also be asked to provide some examples of how your business meets the 3 of the 4 criteria that Ashley spoke about earlier. This is meant to be very inclusive, so just please share, your version of how your business meets the criteria. We'll talk a little bit more about that in the end, but there are also some sort of prompts provided in the application to help you think through that. But this is your opportunity it doesn't have to be, we know that you're extremely busy. This does not have to be a long narrative, but again, we want you to shine. It's a great opportunity for storytelling and to brag about yourself, and how you are part of the community. So there is then also going to be a space for to include your website and social media, as well as any news articles or other recognition that your business has received over the years. You can, if you have that handy, you can feel free to include that. For photos, you are going to be asked to upload a photo of your storefront. So just want to give a heads up. And additionally, you can also include additional product photos of your product or service you provide, or any historical photos that you might want to share. Those are optional, but you do have to provide a photo just of your business, of your storefront. And then finally, there's just confirmation at the end that you are current on, taxes, your business registrations and licenses, adhering to labor laws, and all of those technicalities. So again, it's 6 pages long. Just want everybody to be prepared for that. Fairly smooth to get through. However, if you would like additional support, please reach out to your local business source center for support. And if you have specific questions on the application, something is unclear, or if you would like some additional information or context, you're not maybe not sure how to talk about your business, please feel free to reach out to the Legacy Business team at the email provided, and they're more than happy to get back with you. This is really meant to be a supportive, inclusive process for you. And now we're going to dive back into some of the FAQ before we transition to the open question and answer.
Thank you, Sonia. And I see many questions coming through the chat, and so that's great. When we get to our open questions, we'll be able to read through those so that everybody can hear the answers. And maybe some will be answered here on some of our frequently asked questions. So concerning the program criteria, we did say contributes significantly to its community's history or identity. So what does that mean? A business that actively shapes the course of events, values, and characteristics that define the community's past and present. It becomes a notable part of the community's story and plays a role in shaping how the community perceives itself and is perceived by others. So, for example, your business is the first business to provide a certain good or service in your area, or your business organizes local events and festivals, or even participates, offering community gathering spaces associated with historical events or persons, or becomes a destination spot celebrating the history through maybe exhibits or murals. Those are some examples of what you can say and use for this criteria. And then we also said sustains and cultivates distinctive cultural practices. So this is meant to honor businesses that positively contribute to a neighborhood's unique traditions, participate in building a sense of community, and support the well-being of local residents. Culture is broadly encompassing and does not refer to race or ethnicity. So, for example, your business brings members of the community together around holidays or cultural holidays or traditions. Your business uses practices are rooted in tradition or craftsmanship. You sell unique goods from the surrounding area, or you educate customers about the culture through workshops or presentations. Any of those things count as culture. So another part of the criteria was business is not franchised or affiliated with a national corporate chain. And that just means that it's franchised or affiliated with a national corporate chain if it's part of a larger organization or corporation. So you just have to have like that independent business. What does provides vital goods and services in a language and manner that is culturally acceptable to the community? A business that emphasizes the importance of tailoring the provision of essential goods and services to be culturally sensitive, recognizing the diversity of the community, and ensuring the communication and delivery methods that resonate. So what does that look like? For example, your business offers traditional dishes or products or services that are authentic to the culture, to the community, passes down traditional practices and knowledge. Your business employs staff who can communicate in the languages commonly spoken within the community. All of those things could fulfill that criteria. So think pretty broadly when you are filling out the criteria to ensure like how your business really supports the community. Okay, so what's the duration of the legacy business program? The city is committed to the longevity of small businesses through LA, so this is an ongoing initiative. However, we do encourage you to apply now to be able to participate in the benefits of as the program ramps up. And as your fellow business owners reach the milestones of 20 years, they'll also be able to apply. And what's the time commitment once you are a legacy business inside of this program? So time commitments for participating in the technical assistance program will vary depending on those workshops or study programs. We really are trying to aim to make this efficient and effective because that is what we have heard often from businesses. So we are considering that, but we also want to make sure that you get all that you can out of that technical assistance. How do the grants work and how do I apply? So as we discussed, the online application to apply for grants will begin in the fall of 2024. So the application portal opening will be announced on the City of LA's Economic and Workforce Development website and their social media and with a press release. So grant amounts are $10,000 for businesses with 1 to 5 employees at the time of application and $20,000 for businesses with 6 or more employees. What is the technical assistance benefit? So the TA begins in January of 2025, and it is designed to support business owners with knowledge, training, and assistance for business-related topics. Some of them might be marketing, and retirement, or other kinds of, we're gathering kind of the resources and hearing back from the businesses about some of those technical assistance programs. Support will be offered online to maximize impact while reducing time commitments for business owners. So we'll also have business owners will be able to complete a self-assessment to determine which services they need and want. And then participation is voluntary, and all legacy businesses are eligible for the technical assistance. Great. And so that brings us to our open Q&A time.
Yes. Thank you all for popping in the great questions. I think we'll start by going through some of the questions and then taking them from the audience. So feel free to let us know if you have a question. Okay, so first question is, how about if you are currently understaffed and would like to grow to 6 employees to qualify for the higher grant? So I presume it's, you maybe have 2 to 5 folks now, you're looking to grow. How does that affect your eligibility to, be considered for a larger grant? Nessa, would you be able to take that one?
Yes, so the number of employees is going to depend on at the time of the application. So as we mentioned, the applications aren't going to open until the fall, so you do have some time to hire. If you need assistance in hiring, we could always connect you to the local workforce centers that can help you find qualified staff. And a further question down was about like types of, or like how do you count it? It's going to be W-2 employees that are on your payroll. So that's how we count employees.
Wonderful. Thank you for that. Let's see. Are you going to send out the link to apply? I just popped it in the chat, but we will also send an email afterwards to everyone, so you have that handy in your emails. I know it's hard to capture on the call sometimes. So yes, absolutely. Will we send out a copy of the presentation via email? We are recording it, so I think we're hoping to be able to post a recording of the presentation.
And we can send out some information, the informational portion of the presentation too, because I let us know if that's helpful. And hopefully, and all of that information is also on the website too.
Absolutely. Wonderful. I submitted an application, submitted last week and was not as detailed because she thought the deadline was approaching. Can I make modifications after it has been submitted? What's the best way to navigate that? Should they email in to have a conversation or recommendations?
Yeah, so unfortunately, we can't reopen the application that you submitted. However, you can email us at legacybusiness@lacity.org. Again, we can send that information as well after this call if you want to add more. And if you feel like it wasn't enough, I would definitely encourage to, yeah.
So I really want to include my parents' vintage pictures of 1982 when my dad was a stud muffin. He was 33 years old when he opened up, and he looked so cute with his first apron. And then I have a picture of my mom in 1985, and I gave her the title, The Original Waitress. So I think those are important because they're old pictures that are just tells about the history of our family. The other thing I wanted to provide is we've been blessed with 12 or 13 recognition awards. The former Congresswoman Janice Hahn, who's now supervisor, she had said in a statement in a publication that we're considered a landmark of San Pedro as being one of the oldest restaurants in the community, which is a huge honor. We're just so grateful for that. And we have it framed, and we have all these other ones. For former Mayor Eric Garcetti, presented my father with recognition award for the longevity, and we have 2 from the Congress and 2 from Senate, State Assembly, 2 from the councilman. And we just feel so grateful that offices of government have considered our little mom and pop shop. It's not a big fancy restaurant. It's a little place in a little shopping center. And as you can see back behind me, I made my dad my logo because he's my little superstar, him, my mom. So I just want to make sure that aside from other businesses that have been here as long as probably we have or longer, that they get an opportunity for this, because I'll be honest with you, I didn't know about this program. I only found out about it because I was searching legacy, the word legacy last year or 2 years ago, and I had missed the deadline. And so I called, and now Mr. My new councilman, I called our office and I was kind of complaining, like, why haven't you guys told us about this? And she didn't even know this, the person in the office didn't. They're like, what are you talking about? Let me find out more info. And as soon as I hear it opening, I'll send you an email and I'll call you because they know who we are. So sure enough, the office of the local councilman, yeah, thank you, called and left me a voicemail, said, okay, it's opening up, be ready, Hillary. And that's why I got involved this year. But I never heard it from the Business Source Center. I didn't know. Other than that, I was just my luck.
Yeah. Well, this is a new program. We just started this year on February 15th. So I think you might be referring to a different program. So, and again, our application's actually open ongoing. So you won't, no one will miss the deadline because there is none.
Oh, great. So
yeah.
it's not an old one. Okay.
I think you might thinking a different program.
Okay.
But yeah, if you didn't send those pictures already, we probably would have followed up and asked for more pictures anyways. So we're more than welcome any kind of pictures. I think that's really fun.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Yes, nobody's behind and has missed anything. This is
right.
New news. You're the first crowd. Wonderful. Thank you. What if we don't own a website? We've been operating old-fashioned for 40+ years. I absolutely love that. And, providing website is, I believe, an optional field on the application. So no worries there.
Right. And that's actually one of our services that we can provide, that if you want one, we can send you to the correct people that might help you build one.
Very cool. Okay, we talked about the number of employees. Who is providing the technical assistance?
So right now we're still working on the technical assistant piece. If you need assistance immediately, then we'll definitely refer you to your local business source center. But it will be a plethora of experts in the fields that were outlined earlier.
Wonderful, thank you. Is there a cap on the number of businesses that will be accepted? As Nissa mentioned, this is an ongoing program, so there's no cap on the businesses. So not a competitive process in that sense.
So yeah, we have Tom who has raised his hand. Just want to see you.
Appreciate that. I was going to ask a question. I did put it in the chat, but I was just going to expand on it. Is cultural limited to outside and Los Angeles culture, or can it be within our company and our company culture with respect to, I mean, one of our core vision and values is that we create generational change for our employees and focus on that. Is that something that we would put in there and identify that as part of it?
You can mention that. However, if you can think about how you've impacted the community.
So is that, so I guess just to dovetail that part, we're more of a B2B business. We're a commercial water heater and boiler company. And we do focus, we focus on low NOx equipment, which is low smog, and ultra high efficient equipment. And I do think that there is a benefit to the Los Angeles community by reducing the smog, but I don't know culturally how that improves it. I mean, obviously it improves the air, but I don't
Right.
know specifically how I would tailor that conversation or that application with respect
Right.
to that.
Well, like, are you the first one that provides that service in your neighborhood? Is that why you started it there, or things like that? Like, did you see a gap in services, or was there not enough people providing this service in the area?
So it was a mandate by the South Coast Air Quality Management District. We started in 1981, and we started as a solar company, and so we've always been green or energy efficient, and we've always been kind of at the front end of that. I mean, right now water heaters are transitioning to electric and heat pumps, so we're embracing that technology and starting to work on that. So we are generally first to market on a lot of that stuff. I mean, that's just my claim. I don't know if other people are doing the same thing. I assume that they are.
Well, if you
Just
think in your
but
area, like if you were the first there, then I think you can make a argument for yourself. So it's about how you
yeah,
play in
I think
your
I think I think I think for us primarily the
Uh,
greater Los Angeles area. And so I was just wondering, it sounds like maybe it'd be better to just meet with one of the people that's there and explain my particular situation. Maybe they could help me craft how to write that. And
yeah,
then just
you
as a small quick follow-up, I don't want to steal two questions, but on the work source, is that something that's only eligible to legacy partners that you have, or is everybody available? Is that available to everybody? Because obviously we're short people too.
right. Yeah, so but yeah, if you want to get more into the details, you could definitely contact us. And the work source centers are just open to anyone in the city. There's 16 throughout the city that, and if you want to email us as well, we can tell you who the closest one is to you, or just type in like LA Work Source Center. There's even it's all over. It's a nationwide thing. So they're called
Okay.
SBDCs in the county. So
Oh, yeah. I work
yeah,
with them. Okay.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Thank you for all your questions.
All right, no problem.
absolutely. Thank you, Tom. All right. I think we have just a few more. There's a question around if only 10 legacy businesses are restricted to one council area, and I do not believe that is the case, right? Open to as many businesses that would like to apply for the program.
Yeah, I'm assuming you read like the initial motion, and that was just they wanted at least 10 per, so that's the minimum we want per council area, but the sky's the limit.
Well, thanks for the clarification. Is there any kind of full-time employees for employee calculations, or is it really just based on W-2, whether they're full-time or part-time? Is how I'm reading that question. If there's more clarification needed, if you're still on, if you'd like to come off mute to ask.
Hi, that was my question. Sorry, that's not FT full-time, it's full-time equivalent.
Mhm.
So my question was about the number of employees. Most grants or loan applications, they usually look at full-time equivalent, because you could have like 15 employees who are part-time and only 10 hours versus 10 employees who are full-time. So someone had said anyone who's W-2, but anyone who's a W-2 employee classification could be, 4 hours. They could be a temp, seasonal. So I think I'm just trying to get classification around how you're counting employees. Is it every single person who carries a W-2 over a annual basis, or is it quarterly? Because some people have seasonal employees who are only for 3 months of the year. So you may actually have like 60 people on payroll, but at any given time, not 60 people are employed. So I'm just trying to get clarification on the employee count.
Yeah, so we don't have the exact like details of this loan quite yet, but typically seasonal employees are 1099s. So they wouldn't count So a W-2 would be a permanent employee within the business.
Sorry, let me clarify by seasonal. I mean for boutiques or shops that only hire, they have people who have been working for a long time, but then only come back during high seasons. So they're on W-2. That's what I meant by seasonal, like gift shops or clothing stores that like can't keep that many people on their payroll year round. But they've been with the company for a long time, so they're still on payroll and they have a W-2.
Yeah, I think that would probably be like a case by case thing where I don't know how many businesses keep seasonal on W-2. We'll definitely look into it and collect clarification prior to releasing the application for the grant.
Great, thank you, Nissa. So I would say stay tuned to the website and social media as those additional details roll out. And always feel free to email the team if you have any additional follow-up questions on that. Are all applicants who register accepted? What is that process like?
So they have to meet the criteria. So 10 years in business within the same community, and the community has to be within the city of LA, as well as meet 3 of the 4 criteria that was mentioned earlier. So if you can prove that, and it's narrative based, so that's why you would have to work with them trying to show how you meet those qualifications, then you would get accepted.
Well, thank you. How are we supporting businesses who are maybe not as computer savvy or who do not speak English?
Right. So for those that would need assistance filling out the applications, you can walk into any of the 10 business source centers and they can help fill that out with you. A lot of them do speak other languages. So if there's a specific language that you're looking for, in the application, there's a link to a map that will guide you based off of that, or else you can email us and we can give you the contacts of the business source center.
Wonderful. Thank you, Nissa. And I'm just going to pop that in the chat as well, and we will include this in our follow-up email. Great. Let's see. I think we covered off a little bit on the, this was the follow-up question on the number of employees. So just stay tuned for additional clarification on that. And thank you for the feedback on that as well. Just scrolling through, make sure I didn't miss any questions. Were there any additional, let's see, one more. Well, we have a list of the legacy businesses that are accepted.
Yes, so on the website, as soon as we start accepting them, there will be a map as well as a list of the ones that happen. We do plan on having a application status tracker as well, but we're still working on that.
Great, thank you. Right, still open forum. We still have some time allotted. Are there any additional questions from the group? Feel free to come off mute or raise your hand or pop your question in the chat. Oh, how long does it take to be approved?
We're still working out the kinks right now. We're hoping to get the first batch soon. But once we get the process smoothed out, we're hoping that it will be a little faster. Like I don't want to give a time frame right now. But once we get into the groove, there will be a groove.
Thank you. Will there be requirements for how the grant money can be used? Do we know those details yet?
Yes, there will be requirements. This is federal funding, so they have to meet federal rules. And the exact requirements will probably be spelled out closer to when the the grant application opens.
Thank you. Please clarify, all the criteria have to be met. So three of the four criteria have to be met on the application. And you'll be asked to describe a little bit about how you meet the criteria, as well as populating in the additional details about your business. And if there's anything that's unclear or confusing, please again feel free to reach out to the team because they're happy to walk you through it and discuss it with you further. So don't let that be a barrier to applying. Okay, when you give out the grants, it's a lottery. How many will be picked in the first round? Will there be a second round?
So those details will again be more fleshed out when we're closer to releasing the grant. We won't know that until we open the application.
Great, thank you.
Hillary, did you have your?
Yeah, she keeps
question?
physically handing up.
Yeah, sorry, I was trying to type, but I was like, sorry. Oh, got an order coming in. Real quick, we're in the process of changing our business structure from sole prop. My dad was a sole prop for 40 something years, and then the business got passed on to me and I was a sole prop, and now I'm in the process of changing it to incorporated. So would that affect anything and qualifying for this program?
No, and if you need assistance with that, we can send you to the closest business or center.
Okay. Yeah, I'm working with a Betsadec, a nonprofit.
Okay, yeah, they work with our business source centers.
Yes. Thank you. Excuse me, let me mute you real quick.
Sure. Wonderful. We had one more question pop up. Could we have the application reviewed before submitting it?
So we're not reviewing them. However, we don't just take what you submitted and that's the end of it. We do follow up with questions if we're not sure or if we need more clarifications. So if you're really not comfortable, again, you can email us with your questions or possibly walk into a business or center and get their guidance as well. But yeah, once you submit it, it's not the end. Like we will try to work with you.
Yes, thank you. Definitely meant to be an inclusive, inviting process for everybody. Is there another webinar soon that I can tell other businesses about? That is an excellent question. We have a series of these coming up. Our next one is next week, I believe on Wednesday. Let me not lie to you, and we will include this information when we send out the follow-up email. Yes, so our next session is next Wednesday, and that is going to be at noon. We're trying to have them, and I'll provide the list with all of the different dates and times. We're trying to have them at different times because we know just you're so busy, scheduling is tricky. And then additionally, we have one on the 21st, which will have live Spanish interpretation, and our call on April 3rd will have live Korean interpretation as well. Thank you for that. Yes, please spread the word. We're excited about that.
And those that information about those other webinars are on the website too, so you can share the website.
Yes, great reminder. Wonderful. Okay, we have someone coming in. Any additional questions?
Thank you, Kaylee. We will check that out. Should we say 5,000 instead of 50?
Oh, very cool. Okay, thank you. All right. Well, we're happy to stay on for another couple of minutes if anyone has any additional questions, if anything comes to mind. do we have to meet all 3 criteria? Yes, you have to meet 3 of the 4 criteria, and just tell a little bit more about, be able to share a little bit about how you meet those criteria. You're very welcome, Tom. Thank you so much. Thank you, David. Appreciate you all joining.
Thank you to all of you. Thank you for your businesses and your legacy. And we're excited to support you and launch the legacy program. So reach out with questions and see you in the program with all the benefits.
Yes, definitely. Thank you all.